All right, class, we're here with our second board. Same thing, topic is urbanization and intellectual movement. Same essential question, how did the late 1800s society change? Life in the fin de siècle, end of the century. Increased standard of living in all countries. Northern Europe had a higher level of increased standard of living. Mostly due to the second industrial revolution was providing much more of an impact and money for those countries. Increased leisure time, more money to spend, so people at this time weren't working all the time, and they did have some free time. Sports attracted increased spectators. This is when you had the advent of soccer, you had bicycling events, you also had track, and automobile races. So this is when things really started getting going again. At the end of this time, right before the turn of the century, is when they had the first modern Olympics. Women gradually abandoned restrictive clothing. They would still, wear dresses, but they were not as restrictive in what they could wear or what they couldn't wear. Social Darwinists believed that sports competition confirmed superiority of some races, and social Darwinists, and we'll talk about Darwin here in a second, applied Darwin's theories to modern society. All right, the new inventions, telephone, car, radio, movies were all a few of the new inventions at the time. Education by the 1900s, all children in England from ages 5 to 12 had to go to school. In France, they ages 3 to 13 had to go to school under the Ferry Laws. Girls had less access to higher education, so it was tougher for kids, women, to go to college. Scientific advances, significant in reducing the mortality rate. Louis Pasteur had developed the germ theory. He also worked in reducing and working on pasteurization and working on antibiotics. Diseases such as typhoid, typhus, cholera were now controlled in certain areas. Places in Africa and South America still had some problems. Chemistry, the periodic table was created. Mike Faraday develops generator electromagnetism. Comte was the father of sociology. So, with the advent of the second industrial revolution, there's many more items out there that were created that gave people more free time, and/or universities were able to start having many more learned people come and work for them. All right, Charles Darwin, the theory of evolution. So before this time, the majority of the people believed in the Bible and believed what they were told from the Bible. Darwin took his ship, sailed to the Galapagos Islands. There observed quite a few species of animals. All life gradually evolved from common ancestral origin in the unending struggle of survival. Species most able to adapt then do survive. And he saw this in the Galapagos Islands. This had an impact on religion. It refuted literal interpretation of the Bible. This theory was later used by imperialists to conquer places like Africa and Asia. Sigmund Freud, considered one of the three giants of the thought of the 19th century with Marx and Darwin. But Sigmund Freud, he was the psychologist or sociologist that worked with people's mind. Freud believed that humans were largely irrational creatures, believed hysteria of his patients originated from repressed childhood fears or feelings. New physics at this time, Marie Curie, first radioactive element, radium. Max Planck took 19th century physics, which had viewed atoms as indestructible, so he broke down these ideas, and this led to the ability for the nuclear age. Albert Einstein, most people have heard of Albert Einstein. Time and space challenged traditional ideas. E equals mc squared, matter and energy interchangeable, united the large universe to a smaller one. During this time, the Catholic Church challenges many of the modern world ideas. Nationalism in some countries declares decreases because of Catholic influence. Syllabus of errors issued by the Pope Pius IX in 1864 condemned liberalism and even Italian unification. The increased popularity of rationalism and science caused alarm in the church. So the church, very, very conservative. They did not back liberalism or this idea of unification at all, and they would have a very difficult time in the future. Thank you.